JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, teen gets 4 years and 10 months in prison for a William Knibb murder. The male William Knibb Memorial High School student, who was charged with the March 21 stabbing death of 16-year-old fellow student Kamal Hall, has been sentenced to 4 years and 10 months in prison. The sentence was handed down today by presiding High Court Justice Andrew Thomas when the matter was heard before the St. James Circuit Court. The hearing was transferred to St. James from the Trelawney Circuit Court. The defendant, whose name has been withheld because he is a minor, was represented by attorney at law Marissa Dalrymple Filbert during the hearing. The facts of the case are that on March 21, Hall, who was the goalkeeper for a William Knibb Memorial High School's football team, and the other boy got into a fight on the grounds of the school compound, during which a knife was used to stab Hall in the neck. Hall was rushed to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Later reports indicated that the fight was over a guard ring, which Hall had allegedly been accused of stealing. Guard rings are often used by wrongdoers who believe they can protect them from their enemies as well as police detection. During his previous appearance in the Trelawney Circuit Court on November 7, 2022, the young convict pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Fisherman killed in St. Mary. The murder tally for St. Mary's increased to 42, following the killing of a fisherman in Onoto Bay on Monday morning. The deceased is 19-year-old Desmond Mitchell, otherwise called Mark, of Cargill Lane, Onoto Bay. According to reports, Mitchell was at home when persons claiming to be police officers knocked on his door. When he opened the door, the assailants fired shots, hitting him in the head. He was taken to the Onoto Bay Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Man dies after being hit by a truck on Washington Boulevard. A man was killed on Sunday morning when he was reportedly hit by a truck on Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew. He has been identified as Trevor White. According to the police, the driver of a Ford motor truck was traveling westerly along the intersection of Washington Boulevard on Mullines Road about 5:45 a.m. when he felt an impact to his vehicle. The driver subsequently pulled off the roadway and realized that he had hit an individual. The Duane Park police were called, and the injured man was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The driver was subsequently brutalized and the motor vehicle seized. He was also warned for prosecution. Investigation into the matter continues. Man gunned down after leaving wake in Westmoreland. A man was shot dead while returning home from a wake with his girlfriend in Bethel Town, Westmoreland, on Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 46-year-old Michael Hilton, a technician from the community. Reports from the Westmoreland police are that Hilton and his girlfriend were walking home shortly after 1 a.m. when they were confronted by a lone gunman who opened gunfire at Hilton, hitting him several times in his chest and upper body. His girlfriend escaped injury after she ran into nearby bushes. The gunman then escaped on foot in the area. The deceased was transported by residents to the Conway Regional Hospital in St. James, where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. 4 people have been killed in Westmoreland in the last week. Man's body found with hand severed in Ensom City. Investigators in the St. Catherine North Police Division are trying to ascertain the identity of a man whose body was found with the left hand severed. It has been reported that about 6:30 a.m., passers-by stumbled upon the body near the Ensom City Community Center in Spanish Town. The police were summoned and upon their arrival observed that the body was lying face down. It had on a pair of Puma sneakers. Man charged after allegedly assaulting mother of his child. Man charged after allegedly assaulting mother of his child. The Green Island police have laid charges against a man accused of assaulting the mother of his child after the two got into a dispute at their home in Grange District, Hanover, on Thursday, November 24. 20-year-old Robert Peterkin, otherwise called Guns, a bike operator, has been charged with assault of common law and illegal possession of firearm. Reports from the Green Island police are that about 10 a.m., Peterkin and his spouse were engaged in a verbal spat, allegedly stemming from disagreements about the care of their child. Peterkin reportedly hit the woman in the face and then pulled a handgun and pointed it at her. The woman fled and reported the incident. When law enforcement arrived on the scene, Peterkin reportedly fled. He later turned himself in on Thursday, December 1, and was subsequently charged following an interview session in the presence of his attorney. Peter King's court date is being arranged. Taxi operator busted for robbery and sexual assault of women. A taxi operator who allegedly assisted 2 men who robbed and sexually assaulted two women at their home on Tuesday, November 8, has been charged by the Halfway Tree Police. He has been identified as 28-year-old Kemar McCarthy, a taxi operator and pig farmer of Balcombe Drive, Kingston 11. According to information from the Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, police used technology to track the man's vehicle hours after the crime was committed. He was subsequently located and arrested. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that about 12 p.m., McCarthy and two other men attacked the women at their home, robbed them, assaulted them, and then escaped. The police responded quickly to the reports and activated their vehicle tracking technology. The motor car was subsequently intercepted and McCarthy arrested. Follow-up operations were carried out at his home where the stolen items were recovered. After being interviewed in the presence of his attorney, he was charged with robbery with aggravation, aiding and abetting robbery with aggravation, and aiding and abetting rape. McCarthy is expected to answer to the charges in the Corporate Area Parish Court on Friday, December 9. His accomplices remain at large, but detectives continue to follow leads in the case. Clarendon Municipal Corporation taking action against people with overgrown lots. Owners of overgrown housing lots in Clarendon are facing prosecution and increased property taxes as the municipal corporation looks at solutions to the matter. Winston Mirage, chairman of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, said there are several housing lots in schemes and subdivisions with overgrowth, especially after recent heavy rains. In an interview, Marad said residents have raised concerns about the threat of rodents and criminals. The Clarendon Municipal Corporation has served notices on the owners of the overgrown lots, and Marad disclosed that if they do not respond, they'll be taken to court for a breach in the public health nuisance regulations. We also have our local government act that we can use as well to mandate them to have their properties cleaned. We also have the act where we, as a municipal corporation, can have it cleaned and we post the charges to their property taxes, the chairman outlined as alternative options. Justice Minister urges students to resolve conflicts peacefully. Students are being encouraged to make use of alternative dispute resolution methods to resolve conflicts peacefully. According to a release on Monday, the charge was given by Minister of Justice Delroy Chalk during the final stop in the ministry's Alternative Justice Services school tour at St. James High School in Montego Bay recently. If people are not able to deal with one another fairly, to listen to one another and to tolerate other person's views, and deal with each other in a fair way, then you're always going to be fighting, Chalk said. That is why it is important that you find ways and means to be able, when you have problems, to solve them. The Ministry of Justice has many appropriate means for you to settle any disputes and challenges that you have with one another, he noted. The Alternative Justice Services school tour aims to educate students across the island about the ministry's alternative justice services. In the meantime, the minister encouraged students to report issues that they may be having with each other to their guidance counselors and teachers so that both sides can be heard, and at the end of the day, you can settle the dispute without having to fight. In sports news, Arborview hammer Falkland 6-1 in JPL. Timor Lewis scored a first-half hat-trick as defending champions Arborview hammered promoted Falkland FC 6-1 in the Jamaica Premier League first-round game played at Arnett Gardens on Sunday. The win was Arborview's fourth, as they stayed top in the points table with 13 points, 2 more than Mount Pleasant FA, who beat Cavalier FC 1-0 at Droxall. Montego Bay United are in third after their first loss, beaten by Humble Lions. Arborview led 4-0 at half-time, as Lewis scored in the 31st, 35th, and a minute into time added on at the end of the first half. Falkland FC also conceded an own goal in the 40th minute. Terita Gregory pulled one back for Falkland FC in the 51st minute, but Colorado Morris scored a fifth for Arborview in the 81st, and Sean Daly made it 6-1 in the 87th minute. Mount Pleasant FA won back-to-back games, as Jamoy Toppy's powerful header 3 minutes into time added gave the Theodore Whitmore coach team full points. At Westport Park, Montego Bay United tasted defeat for the first time this season, going down 1-0 to Humble Lion with O'Shane Sharp's 24th minute goal. Humble Lion went down to 10 men in the 43rd minute when Afiba Chambers was sent off after getting his second yellow card in 8 minutes. Montego Bay United's Camille Dyer was also red-carded shortly after the game was blown off. Dumbler Holden snapped a 2-game losing skid to beat Tivoli Gardens 2-0 with goals from Nicoy Christian in the 39th minute and Stephen Barnett in the 47th minute. Meanwhile, Waterhouse won their first game of the season, edging Vere United 1-0 at the Wembley Centre of Excellence thanks to an own goal in the 26th minute. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.